Good morning to the esteemed guests here at the World Waste to Wealth Summit. Today we are discussing a topic of global importance. India's landfills are being overburdened by the solid waste being generated throughout the country. As per recent estimates, India generates around 62 million tons of waste annually, and 31 million tons of this solid waste are sent to the landfills. And currently, only about 12 million tons of waste are treated. We must break out of our out of sight, out of mind approach. However, there is a silver lining. Namely, there is a potential for huge economic gain from what we consider to be waste. By 2025, the waste management industry in India is expected to be around 15 billion US dollars. Therefore, there is an incredible scope for companies to invest and enter India's waste management market. We must utilize this opportunity to create a circular economy. There is an incredible scope and untapped potential in waste management in India. For example, India currently generates 26,000 tons of plastic waste per day. Currently, 60% of India's plastic waste is recycled. The plastic waste market in India alone is expected to reach about 54 billion US dollars by the end of this year. This plastic, as we all know, can be used to make tiles, roads, clothes, etc. It can be used to improve existing infrastructure or even create new infrastructure initiatives. Technologies related to segregation and sorting via mechanical sensor-based technologies are being explored to increase efficiency for further cycling. There have been major success stories and activities being undertaken in India when it comes to waste management. Technologies such as incinerators, biomethanation, gasifiers, and pyrolysis have been all implemented worldwide and in India to address the waste management sector. India has tremendous potential, as I mentioned, to convert waste into energy. The Ministry of New and Renewable Energy has estimated the energy potential from fresh organic and industrial waste to be as much as 5.7 gigawatt. To take advantage of these opportunities, a waste to energy plant will be set up, and for example, the one being set up in Bhalsawa landfill in Delhi is under progress. Similar plants are being planned in Bangalore and Hyderabad. The government has proposed a combined capacity of almost 400 megawatt throughout the country. The Indian government has also given a big push to green hydrogen mission with a $2.4 billion investment and the setting up of the National Green Hydrogen Mission in early part of this year. Green hydrogen, as we all know, can be used as alternative to fossil fuels in the manufacturing of steel, along with shipping, aviation, transport, and many other sectors. Biogasification for production of hydrogen is an additional route to the well-known electrolysis of water. As a first baby step, India's first waste to hydrogen plant is due to be set up in Pune. The plant will generate about 10 tons of hydrogen per day from about 350 tons of solid waste. This area has to be pushed further, and we have great potential in our country to take this route. Municipal solid waste, depending on its characterization can also be used to generate biofuels. Global biofuel production has increased from almost 180,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day in 2000 to as much as 1.9 million barrels of oil equivalent per day in 2022. India increased its biofuel production from 23,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day in 2020 to almost 37,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day in 2021. Municipal solid waste, agriculture residue, forestry residue, animal manure, algae, sewage, sludge, and even construction and demolition waste, particularly wood, can be utilized to produce biofuel. Technologies such as fermentation can be used to produce ethanol, anaerobic digestion to produce biogas, pyrolysis and gasification to produce syngas and liquid fuels. I understand that India, United States and Brazil will also be working towards the development of a global biofuel alliance and is one of the priorities under G20, India's G20 presidency. We must also look at another sector, namely the electronic waste recycling, on priority to promote zero waste and discover new avenues for by bridging the market gap in the repair, collection and recycling of electronic products, and look at this as a method to reduce costs for industry and manufacturers. This has the potential to reduce costs for these companies, allowing them to be even more commercially competitive globally. The material value of electronic waste generated in 2021 was almost 54 billion globally. This is an incredible economic opportunities. Researchers have found that extracting metals from e-waste costs 13 times less than mining ore. Thus, recovering metal such as gold from e-waste not only generates a circular economy but also provides a more economical method to extract metals. Now, 95% of the India's e-waste is recycled by the informal sector. So what it implies is that there is already a large workforce in this sector, and there is a great potential to really take it in a methodical manner in coming years. Incentives for consumers such as buyback programs should be implemented at the earliest, and this will make a big difference. Now I come to construction and demolition sector that needs to be addressed on an urgent basis. C&D waste accounts for 30% of the total waste produced globally. An estimated 35% of all C&D waste is disposed of in landfills. Once again, great opportunities in this sector, as the global market size of this sector is almost 120 billion US dollars. Now, C&D waste is also a big challenge for India, as officials estimate state that the country generates about 150 million tons annually, and at present India has a recycling capacity of about 6,500 tons per day, which means we have a long way to go. Method to reduce, reuse, recycle and rebuy C&D materials must be explored to address the circular economy potential of this sector. Utilizing methods such as source reduction, salvaging materials during deconstruction and recycling relevant materials will drastically reduce C&D waste generation. Lastly, I would like to thank the World Waste to Wealth Summit and Expo for organizing this summit and generating greater awareness of an issue that is impacting each one of us. Everyone in this country contributes to this problem, so let's take this opportunity to provide solutions. Thank you very much.